Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast. Ozcast. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
The information contained within this podcast does not consider your personal circumstances and is of a general nature only. You should not act on it without first obtaining professional financial advice specific to your circumstances.
Paul Atherton is an ex-Wall Street advisor on a mission to help young people win back their financial power, wealth and security. He does this by helping them understand the hidden world of finance, risk and investments, helps them figure out how it impacts them, and to seize the opportunities to make it work to their advantage. This is Paul Street Journal.
Hi, I'm here with Paul Atherton this morning. How are you, Paul?
Hey, Tim. I'm really well.
It's good to hear. I'm thinking about using a credit repair agency, Paul. What do you think I should know about that?
Yeah, so I think I've mentioned before, certainly you know very well, Tim, that I'm a big fan of credit repair agencies. And there's a number of reasons for that. But why might you want to? So at its basics, your ability to borrow and the rate at which you borrow at is determined on your credit score. So some algorithm by some computer with numbers put in by very smart people without you knowing it, using a calculation that you don't know, comes up with a credit number, a credit score that impacts your life, how much you can borrow and the rate at which you can borrow. So I think it's incredibly important to get a hold of your credit score. I do this every year, just as a matter of discipline to see what's on my file, partly because I'm nosy, but I think it's also good to keep on top of that. And you can do that, and it's completely free. Once a year, you're allowed to do it free. You go into, I think I mentioned before, Equifax, it used to be called Veda. Look it up, personal credit score, Equifax, Australia. It'll come up. You'll be able to navigate, find it, and you'll be able to download it, usually for free, quite quickly and simply. So go ahead and do it. If you've done it more than once, which can happen, you'll probably have to pay a small fee. But again, not terribly much. So why would you want to do it? Well, you might look at your credit report. You might be rejected for credit, and they might just tell you just got a bad credit number. And you go, okay, well, what's causing that? They won't know. They'll just get a number. You look into your number, you get your credit score, and you'll find what's on your file. So you have a right to have a look at your file. Now, what's happened in your past? Maybe you've had a phone payments, maybe you've had car payments, maybe you have multiple credit card payments, maybe you've had a store payment for a pair of shoes that you just had to have. You were late. Maybe you had a phone and you moved location and somebody was chasing you at the wrong address and therefore you were late. You didn't know. I don't know. Life's complex. Sometimes people have very messy credit histories. It just happens. But what happens is, and this is the reason I really am a big fan for going to a credit repair agency, is sometimes what these lending agencies do is they just throw everything with a total lack of due diligence and due care to you as a consumer and throw everything up against that report. And sometimes, often you'll see things appearing once and twice that should only be there once. And of course, if it's there 3 or 4 times, it's not one event. All of a sudden, it looks like 4 events. And these you can challenge. You can go straight to them and say, this shouldn't be there. But why it's really good to go to a repair agency is they are experts. And these guys will go in and they will just really be able to clean it up for you. But you really want to go to somebody that's reputable. Now, like anything, when you're in an area where there is, you might say, panicky people that are desperate, and that's usually with money, bad credit, somebody that's desperate to have money. We all get in those situations. This happens in somebody's life all the time. You get a lot of charlatans in the industry. So yes, I love credit repair agencies. They're fantastic. They do a very useful function in society, but be very careful because you've got to get somebody that's good. You'll find a lot out there that are not doing anything. They're just nothing but scam artists. Okay, so how do you find the right ones? Well, first of all, find out are they licensed. Check them. Check out their ABN number. and look at their register. You can check out an ABN number on their website or wherever you found these guys, and check it if they're registered. Sometimes you'll find the ABN number's got nothing to do with the company. That would be a huge red flag. So check out ABN, company register, and see what they're doing. Transparency. How upfront is the company about to you as you engage with them about fees? Do they instantly want money? A good agency will have the first meeting for free. They will talk to you and engage with you and say, hey, is this really a relationship? Is this something that you... A good agency will say, no, actually, you don't need us. That's going to fall off, right? A good agency will do that. A good agency will have the first meeting totally free. So look at that, the fees and the way they charge. They'll be upfront, they'll be transparent, and very open to it. Reputation. So we live in a day of social media and Google reviews and Facebook reviews and everything reviews. You should be able to find a lot of information on this company. Do a little bit of due diligence, even a small amount. You'll find out what the reputation is of that company. And lastly, of course, it's the cost. You know, is it worth the money? And I guess that's a personal question. They're not cheap. Very worth it if you need it, but not cheap. So you need to work out all of those factors and then weigh up the benefits or the drawbacks. So let's think about some of the pros. So even if only some of your negative listings are removed, this will massively improve your credit scores. So that's what will happen. They're that good. I'm that confident with a good credit agency, they'll do that job and they'll get rid of it, and your credit score will improve. And the rates that you pay to borrow money based on that improved credit score should go down, and that will have a direct impact. So that's the pros for engaging. Cons, it can be expensive. Bottom line, really, it's not cheap. If you somebody that's desperate for credit and desperate credit because you've got a cash flow problem, a short-term problem with immediate money, this may be an issue. It's scales depending on how many line items they remove, how many points of credit history that they remove, but it's not cheap. I think I won't quote any numbers here, but I would suggest people look at it. Not cheap, well worth it in most circumstances, but it's I guess the downside and something you need to look at carefully.
Thank you for joining us, Paul.
Lovely, Tim. Thank you.
Paul Street Journal.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.